me. Welcome. Welcome all you freedom-loving patriots. It really is so heartening to see so many others who share that rock-solid determination to protect our families, our friends, and our country from the utter catastrophe that is lockdowns. Now, we've been gathering here every Saturday for the past month or so, and the numbers just keep growing. And this week we are very, very pleased to be joining forces with the National Rally for Freedom. Look at you all! Look at you! Now, turn it up. All right. Now, before we get underway, we've got to get through the boring bit, but the necessary bit. A bit of housekeeping. I would like to thank, first of all, now wait for it, I would like to sincerely thank the police for working with us over the last few weeks. And again today. Now, at their request, I would encourage you all to continue to make an effort to be sensible, be safe, be courteous, and yes, stick to your bubbles. So, I know. Okay, look, I'm not saying, obviously, keeping to our bubbles is a restriction of our freedom, and it is. But today, in order to keep the police happy, to make sure we can continue to attend these sorts of meetings with as little of hassle as possible, let's just abide by this annoying restriction on our freedom. Stick to your bubbles. The police will be happy, and we can be happy. I also really encourage all of you to click like or attending on the Facebook pages for both the Ended Liberty Movement events and also the National Rally for Freedom events. We've just been requested that we can have an official sort of tally of the numbers of the people who are attending here. The more the merrier. All right, let's get underway. Jamie, where are you? Jamie, good to have you.
Good afternoon, Auckland! Good afternoon, Auckland. Congratulations for turning up today. I want to say thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your day to stand up for freedom in New Zealand. I want to say thank you to the friendly people from Liberty March for welcoming us all here. This is a combined event with Liberty March and also the National Rally for Freedom. We're all here today because we believe in New Zealand. We're all here today because we believe we need to stand up for our rights. We're all here today because we believe it's time to stand up and say we need to get our rights and freedoms back. And in this country of New Zealand, we're at a crossroads where we get to determine which path we go. The path of more lockdowns, the path of losing our freedoms more, or the path of greater rights and freedoms, and that's what we stand for. I want to say thank you to a number of people at the start here. Firstly, I want to say thank you to all of you for turning up, because you are what stands for rights and freedoms in New Zealand. I want to say thank you to Jonathan from Liberty March. They have been great to work with. And I know they started these marches several weeks ago. They started from a small group of people that wanted to stand up against lockdowns. And it's growing and growing and growing. And now today I see several thousand people coming together because they believe in this. I also want to say thank you to the people that are here looking after us today. There's several marshals that are here, there are Māori wardens that are here. I also want to say thank you to New Zealand Police for what they do. And this is important. Never attack the public servants on the front line for the decisions of their political masters. We say thank you. say thank you to the New Zealand Police for their efforts in keeping New Zealanders safe. We thank you for their service to this country. And if we disagree with decisions that have been made in the name of the law, we aim that at their political masters, not the police. So let's put our hands together for the police. I also want to acknowledge a couple more freedom fighters. Some of them are here, some of them are not. I want to acknowledge an inspiring gentleman. His name is Simon Thornley. Simon Thornley is a courageous epidemiologist. Simon's not here today, although he has been here every single March. Simon is someone who stands up for academic freedom, who's willing to speak the truth, who's willing to outline an alternative point of view. Sadly, in this country, we no longer have academic freedom because people like Simon are being shut down. It's wrong, it needs to stop, and we stand with Simon Thornley. I also want to acknowledge the inspiring and brave mother who very sadly was thrown in prison for standing up for her children. I won't name her because we are also protecting the identities of her children. But I have to say, this is not the country I grew up in. We're a mother who is simply supporting her children, simply working with them to ensure they could see their father before he was buried. She was thrown in prison because of that, and that is shameful. I hope later today she can join us, and I hope we can welcome her as she deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, this event is so important for our country's future. It's so important for our country's future because we need to ensure that the media, that the government, that the politicians in Wellington see what is happening and see that New Zealanders are not happy. We need to show the country that thousands of people are prepared to turn up and march for rights, march for freedoms, march for ensuring our country is the free country that our fathers and grandfathers fought for in world wars and times gone past. That's what they fought for. Never again should we have to be in a position where we have to rally together just to ensure that we can live our daily lives. This country is in a position now where governments have decided, in the name of science, which is now old and now out of date, but they've decided in the name of old science that they need to lock countries down, they need to stop people from gathering together, they need to stop people from living their daily lives. They're going to see workers losing their jobs, businesses falling over, and that is not wrong, and that's what we stand against. There's going to be more speakers today, and my friend and co-leader Billy Te Kahika will be addressing us later today, but we're here today, all of us, because we want to stand up. And so I ask you, Auckland, do you believe in freedom? Do you believe in New Zealand? Do you believe in taking back our rights and freedom? Do you believe in standing up to government over control? I say to New Zealand, this is a wonderful country, but it's time to choose a different direction. It's time to choose a different path. It's time to stand up for our nation. And I say to you, God defend New Zealand, because no one else is. This is a wonderful day. I thank you for being here. I thank you for standing up for yourselves. Have a great day, and let's rally for national freedom.
I just want to take this moment to just take a thought for our Australian brothers and sisters in the state of Victoria. Look at the incredible devastation and despair a government can and does impose on its citizenry, supposedly for the good of everyone. Today we stand in unity with our Australian brothers and sisters, many of whom, even at this very moment, are preparing to put their future on the line by taking the same stand that we do today. And we know, despite, we keep hearing on the media, listen to the science? Why don't we just listen to the science? The science is on our side. Sweden, which did not lock down, has a lower mortality rate for the year so far than its 10-year average for the same time period. All European countries that were affected by COVID have seen a drop in their daily COVID deaths to virtually zero over the past couple of months. And if that's not an achievement of some sort of level of immunity, what is it?
Media fullness.
We know that the infection fatality rate for COVID is increasingly lower and more similar to previous flu strains as time goes on. This is borne out by the fact that the average life expectancies around the world is simply not affected by COVID. Anyway, enough of that boring science stuff. But next we have the lovely Claire Deeks with a few words. Claire is a mother, a lawyer, and now, like you and like me, an activist.
Thank you. I'm gonna be a bit more interactive this week rather than preach to you. Let's have a conversation, okay? How many people here have come to this march for the first time today? Give me a quick show of hands. First time you've ever come here. Wow, that's a big turnout. You must be really passionate about something. How many of you came from outside of Auckland to be here? Woo! Me! I think are you representing? I think you are. Now, how many of you people here are either a farmer or are connected to a farmer? Okay, quick show of hands. Well, guess what, people? We're all connected to farmers. They feed us. Don't forget that. Now, I have to applaud you guys for your real kindness. Okay, not that prescribed fluffy bullshit that Jacinda talks about, but you showing up today is real kindness. It's not selfishness. You are selfless because you care about your nation, because you're not happy with the way it's going. You don't believe that what you're being told is truly accurate. So I have another question for you. Show me your hand if you feel as though you're in the middle of a disinformation war. How many of you people feel that COVID is not necessarily a health crisis, but it is economic assassination? Well, guys, we're on that slippery slope. Okay, and this is actually really happening. This isn't for shits and giggles. This isn't a conspiracy theory. There's far too many smart people here for this to be a conspiracy theory. So, at the end of it, how do you lose a nation? Okay, let's talk about that. First, you infiltrate the government and you push and press stupid legislation that takes away people's rights, makes it hard for you to run a business, makes you lose your job, makes you lose your farm because you can't afford to run your farm anymore. Okay, you weaken the nation, because if you weaken the individuals, you can eventually take that nation. And who steps in? Big corporations, media outlets, foreign overseas interests who want to buy your land, buy your assets and take it from you. That's what they want. And that's where we're at right now. This is about economic assassination more than anything else. This is about destroying our sovereignty so that we are reliant on the government to provide us everything we need. And heaven forbid if we should be so careless or stupid as to question the government, right? Because they're the only source of truth, apparently. Now you do me a quick favor. How many of you today would just happily cast a vote to leave the United Nations? Oh, you know what? Sorry, I'm hard of hearing. Can you do that again? Damn Skippy, man, because it's a tax, right? It's a tax. Us being involved in the United Nations, paying towards the United Nations, paying towards the World Health Organization is a tax on all you and I, okay? All the environmental taxes that are lobbied against our farmers is a tax on them. And if you take away the food supply from the people, you lose your nation. You have to understand that this government has the military. They have the police. We citizens, our army are the farmers. Okay, if you don't begin to understand that the farmers are the largest political interest group in this nation, and they actually are people of the land. They feed us, they take care of us. None of us could be here today if we didn't eat food that was produced by a farmer. Now, you'll be led to believe by the media that suicide rates are at their lowest they've been in years, and I contend that's absolute bullshit. Okay? I just saw a news hub in July. They were saying that suicide rates are way down. I've spoken to farmers who will say that's not true. I've spoken to business people who've lost their businesses because COVID took it down. There's no remorse from this government. There's just simply take, killing you with kindness. Killing you with kindness. So I applaud you guys for being here today. I'm so grateful you guys have come out. But none of this will be for anything if you don't share it on social media. I do applaud the mainstream media for showing up for once. It's very nice of you to come, guys. Thank you. You know, we have voices too. Our $50 million helped pay for your industry to, stand up, right? So thanks for coming. Appreciate it. So you have to be the voice. You guys have to share this on social media. You have to get loud. You have to get noisy. And more than important, you have to damn vote. I don't care if you're a New Zealander watching this in London, okay, or you're here in Auckland, or you're watching this from other city in Auckland. Sorry, in the country. You need to vote. You need to share on social media that you're not happy with this government, and we are within our rights, our inalienable rights to take it back. We are done, and we're going to march until we get what we want. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Alrighty. Patience. Alright. I've been reminded that I need to mention that today, unlike the previous NZ Liberty marches in previous weeks, today we'll be marching down Queen Street. We're going to be taking the full width of the road because there are so many of you. We'll be doing a loop round the bottom and then coming back up Queen Street and finishing off here again. Now, I'm going to say, let's get out our phones now, because we know the media's here, which is great, but they like to underestimate the numbers here. And how about we get our phones out and go to the events and click going, if you haven't already, so that we can see exactly how many of people are actually attending these events. The National Rally for Freedom and the NZ Liberty Movement events. Get your phones out now, tap it, so we have the record. Now, here's another face and voice that many of you will be very pleased to see here, all the way from Christchurch, the ever courageous Lee Williams from Cross the Rubicon.
Hello everybody, what a day we've got today. How many people are here today? 2,000 plus, I'd say. Big hello from Christchurch. We do this every day, every Saturday in Christchurch. We've only got about maybe 100, 150 people. Well, this is growing, it's a growing movement. All over the world, Dublin, Berlin, London, Birmingham, everywhere, it's growing. Because we know this is a global conspiracy to take away our freedoms by globalists. Politicians who have been nobbled by multi-billionaires. They're psychopaths, and they've got the media around the world, even the media standing here, the fake news media. They are fake news. Don't believe for 1 minute that they're going to be saying anything good about any of us. We're all tin hat foil wearing conspiracy theorists, according to these people. Remember, when they write dirty, rotten things about us and smear us, which they do, we should protest outside their offices and find out where them journalists are who are fake news and calling us whatever they want to call us. They have the power. They've been bought by Jacinda Ardern. $50 million of your money. Your money is being used to lie to you by the fake news media. Channel 1, TV3, all of them bloody fake news. And no matter who you vote for, this coming election, Labour or National, they are fully bought in. You couldn't put a cigarette paper between National or Labour. You've got Advance here, you've got the New Conservatives, maybe I shouldn't say that, but you've got to vote for them, the small parties. Because the big parties are globalists, they've been nobbled. They are all representative of globalists. We've got to fight, and we are growing. We're growing in numbers. Look at this, the amount of numbers we got here. And I want you people, some of you people, to come down to Christchurch and join us. Because we've been doing this for months in Christchurch. And the fake news media have not even turned up once. We had a 2,000 people march only about, I think it was March for Life, it was about 3-4 weeks ago. No media turned up at all. No media. Because that's what they're like, they don't want to hear us. I'm sorry to say this, but the police as well. Look at the police in Melbourne and Victoria, what they're doing. Being militarised. And don't think for a minute it's not going to come here. It's not so much the Bobby on the beat, like these fellas here. But it's certainly the upper echelons. The upper echelons of the police. Common purpose, cultural Marxists is what they are. They're not police, they're politicians. And they're passing this down to the men on the beat. There's police here with cameras, doing facial recognition, all our faces. At some stage, they're going to come for us, especially the people standing behind me here. The ones giving speeches. At some stage, we will be arrested. Because that's what they're going to do. And they'll be taking photographs of all of you. But we're not going to let it happen, because we've got to grow. And we're going to fight back at some stage. We are not going to let the United Nations and the World Health Organization and the CCP take over our countries, not only in New Zealand, but right across the Western world. Because it seems it's only the Western world that's been affected by this COVID-19 crisis, which I think is largely a bloody hoax anyway. It's a power grab, that's all it is. A power grab. It's been exaggerated to take away our freedoms. It stinks. And we're not going to let it happen. We've got to fight it all the way. Next 2,000 odd here today, 2,500 maybe. Next week we'll make it 5,000. 5,000. The week after we'll make it 10,000. And the same up and down the country. Wellington and Christchurch will be the same. We've got to unite together. Everybody. Don't vote Labour. Don't vote National. Because they're in cahoots together. Thank you for coming, everybody. Great patriots we are. We all want freedom. And we're not willing to give it up. And vaccinations. I was a grandfather for the first time on Wednesday. A baby little boy. I know I don't look old enough. But I don't want my grandchild, my little baby Jack, to be given a vaccination. No way. Because that psychopath who owns Microsoft, Bill Gates, I'll say his name, a big techno working in vaccinations. We don't even know what's in it. And yet we're going to be forced to take it. Why? It's crap. Hydroxychloroquine is a cure. It was taken off the shelves. It was made a bad drug just before all this happened. That's the conspiracy. People call us conspiracy theorists all the time like it's something bad. JFK was killed by a conspiracy. So was Abraham Lincoln was killed by a conspiracy. So conspiracies are real and they're deadly. And it's against us all. A world depopulation, that's what this is. And it's been driven by elites who have corrupted our politicians. And we're not going to let it happen. We've got to stop it. That's me anyway. Thank you very much. Cross the Rubicon.
I don't know about you, but I must confess, I'd never really thought that I'd ever call myself an activist. But, you know, needs must, and here we are. And look at you, all of you as well. We just want our freedom back, don't we? Yeah. So if I ask you, what do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? I've always wanted to do that. All right. I'd like to now welcome one of the most gently spoken activists you'll ever have the pleasure of hearing. Let's give Renee a hand.
Freedom! Oh, just me. Thank you. And I woke up to it very early on that something did not smell right. I then discovered the information sources that were in contradiction to each other, and they were meant to be on the same page. But now, whānau, the CDC says lockdowns don't work. Now the WHO says lockdowns don't work. Now they say elimination won't work as a strategy to deal with this disease that is the same lethality as a nasty winter flu. Stanford University says it. WHO says it. Centre for Disease Control and Prevention says it. Dr. Simon Thornley, our own expert, the head of the COVID-19 Plan B team, says it. This is a viral disease we can live with. But no, they are destroying our country without compassion and heart. We are watching a government that has no plan to pay down the massive debt that we know about, $240 billion that your mokopuna, our grandchildren, will need to pay unless this government gets out and a government gets put in that can turn our productivity into money and revenue. But no, they have no plans that they're talking about that will rescue our country from the crippling debt that they are going to lay upon us if maintaining their course is allowed by us, the free people of Aotearoa. But we say no as one family. We are saying no to what? What do we say no to? We are saying no, that they cannot just spend our money without any restraint. No, we do not accept that people without a warrant can come onto our property and take us away to perform a medical examination. We say no. This government is defiant. This government is maintaining a course that the primary sources of information that they claimed gave them their strategy are now saying, no, you've got it wrong. But Helen Clark said last week, no lockdowns work. And the UN and the WHO said the next day, they don't work. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? Well, I tell you one thing, whānau. I don't believe any of them in the House of Representatives. Not one of them. Statistics New Zealand said yesterday 165,000 Kiwis are going to lose jobs over the next 12 months. Next week, 450,000 New Zealanders will no longer receive the wages subsidy. And this government has no answer. Not good enough, whānau. Not good enough. We are a logical people, Middle New Zealanders. We have representatives from the Indian community. We have representatives from the South African community, from the Chinese community, from Māori Pākehā, our Pacifica family. They're all here today because we know we are thinking logically. What we said early on, that the media claimed I was a conspiracy theorist, is now mainstream. The disease was never lethal as it was made out to be. Lockdowns were never going to work. There are issues that need to be asked and questions need to be asked that this government will not deal with us about. They have no goodwill, no good faith, but most of all, they've got no integrity. This COVID-19 public health response bill was introduced into Parliament at 4 in the morning, and I asked my colleague Jamie Lee Ross, what were you doing that for in the morning? He said, I was snoring. And yet they introduced it in such a covert way without going through the democratic processes that, hey presto, you've got a new law upon you that means they will jail you if you do not agree with their measures that they take. Ladies and gentlemen, whānau, I want to introduce you to a lady that touched my heart greatly through her experience. I tried to hold her hand during the process. This is a mother, this is a lady whose former partner had died. She came to New Zealand. She was tested negative when she got here. She asked for an exemption on compassionate grounds and the fact that she was negative so that her children could see their dead father. They said no. Then she got tested again and she applied again. They said yes, we will give it to you. They held her out, they held her out, they held her out with hope and never ever letting her know what was going on, to the point that she made a decision that she and her children would try to go and see their dead loved one's body. Because this heartless government said no. Ladies and gentlemen, because this lady is under threat, because she is trying to get back home to Australia, she's going to just come out and wave out. This is a brave and courageous lady. She was jailed for 14 days. They let her out after 7 because I pounded this government every day on my Facebook Lives. Big round of applause for this lady here. Come on. This is the face of an ordinary Kiwi who's never been dealt with by the police before. She has a conviction. She did 7 days in prison, and when she got into prison, they didn't even give her a TV set. You know what? You know what? I tell you something. If they can imprison a young mother of 4 children, they can imprison any one of you if they want to, if we say no to this COVID-19 public health bill. They're tyrants, whānau. Make no bones about it. This government has said to me in the last few days, I better be careful. I better be careful. But I tell you what, I want to tell them, don't worry about my safety because you guys are out this election. And Advance New Zealand will be in. This is about our future, family. It's not just about today, it's about the many days ahead that we need to ensure that those days are going to be safe for our kids, safe that we can grow our own food, safe that we can decide whether we want something in our bodies or not. This is a God-given right, and no government has the right to overreach the way this government has done up until today. They have no right to do it. None, ladies and gentlemen, none, whānau, none concerned New Zealanders. But what do we do about this? Come the 17th of October, it is the day that you have to decide whether you want for the first time ever, a true people's movement that will not answer to corporates, that will not answer to the United Nations, that will not answer to Chinese Communist China. We are Aotearoa New Zealand. We are free people. Our founding documents, our whakaputanga, the Te Tiriti o Waitangi, guarantees not only Māori, but all of us, sovereignty, all of us. On the 17th of October, you need to decide whether you want, for the first time ever, a group of New Zealanders that care, that have talent, that have skills, that have expertise, but most of all are ordinary New Zealanders that care about our country, will serve the people, rather than a government that is trying to insist that you serve it. I say no. We will change this government. On October 17th, you will have a party, the Advance New Zealand Party, that will solve the housing crisis. We will repair our economy. We will repair our democracy and our sovereignty. We will protect our personal health and medical sovereignty. We will, though, listen to this. This is the catchphrase. We will set up an independent People's Commission that will hold anyone accountable for selling us down the river. This New Zealand People's Commission will be a ministry like all others, but a new one. It will be jurisdictionally empowered to go back retrospectively, find out who wanted to sign us up to the TPPA. Sign up, investigate why Helen Clark allowed GMO croppings in New Zealand without the proper oversight. Find out why Jacinda Ardern stood on a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation stage last year and said she will commit all of us to Agenda 2030. We will find out why. We will find out who allowed both the Labour and the National parties to receive Chinese Communist Party funding. We will find out. And when we do find out, ladies and gentlemen, like the SFI, like any one of those police agencies, these guys will be able to retrospectively hold these people accountable. On October the 17th, you must take back your sovereignty and vote Advance New Zealand. We are the only party that says we are your voice, because we say these things that they don't want us to say. We are your voice. We say at risk to our own personal safety the things this government doesn't want us to say. We are your power, because all of you here and across New Zealand, the motu of Aotearoa, support us and give us our power. We are your party, Advance New Zealand. Your voice, your power, your party. In closing, whānau, I want to thank Jonathan and all of the Liberty March people that set the framework up for these meetings. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I want to thank the mainstream media and Vinny Eastwood for being here today. I want to thank also the New Zealand Police, because they are ordinary people. They are just like us. They wear a uniform for looking after us. Thank you, New Zealand Police. Whānau, this is what we're going to do now. We are going to calmly spread out. We are going to march down to the bottom of Queen Street and back. Advance New Zealand and the Liberty March team, myself and Jamie Lee Ross, we will front this march. We will all go together. We're going to send a clear message to this government. We want our country back. We want our borders open safely. We want the vulnerable people of New Zealand secure and safe and looked over and not die lonely. We want our economy repaired, and we want the people that know what they're doing in there to do it. We want our economy back. And we are free, sovereign, critical thinking New Zealanders, and we will not be swept away. So family, thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for making it worthwhile for me. My wife and family are here. My wife cries all the time with me, what we go through, and I want one for my family. Thank you. What we're going to do, we've got our elders, our kaumātua are going to lead out. Please, family, help us out, spread out, keep your bubbles. We're going to go over here, we'll be at the front. Please don't give them an excuse to crush us. They've said to us, if we do the wrong thing, they will crush us. They told us that, not the police, the government have told us this. Don't give them a reason. Let's spread out. Let's keep safe in our bubbles, but most importantly, family, I'm going to leave you with this. Vote Advance New Zealand, and let's make Aotearoa great again!
on the Vinny Eastwood. Don't believe me, look it up. Do your own research.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Come join us for your freedoms, for your rights, for your brothers and your sisters.
Yeah, for your brothers and sisters, for your friends and family. Why not join them? Yeah. You know, it's not CO2, it's not you, it's the sun. It's not CO2, it's not you, it's the sun. Yeah, the freedom keeper. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We are free. We are free. We are free. We are CO2, mate. Yeah, it's not CO2, it's not you, it's the sun. That's what drives the climate. That's what drives climate change. It's not CO2, it's not you, it is the sun.
Marching for you guys too, man.
Yeah.
Marching for you guys.
We are CO2. Yeah, don't come crying for what you lose.
Don't come crying for what you lose.
Sums it up for me. Sums it up.
Yes. Mainstream media lies. Don't come running for what you lose. Don't come crying for what you lose. Don't come crying for what you lose.
Stand
We are here to show you love.
Very young.
Advance New Zealand. Do your own research. Believe in yourself. Believe in your family. Do your own research. Advance New Zealand.
You got a freedom to breathe. Breathe.
Yeah, freedom to breathe. You don't have to wear the mask.
Freedom to breathe.
God's given us the freedom to breathe.
Yes.
Use the mask.
Good. Freedom's awesome. We are beautiful human beings. Humans are beautiful. Yes, they are. Humans are beautiful. You don't have to be feeling guilty for being human. Enjoy life to the fullest. Whatever color you are, what ethnic you are, enjoy life. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Every day of the week. Enjoy life 24/7. Wherever God's position you are.
You have the freedom
Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Every day of the week, 24/7. Enjoy life. Hang on. You don't have to be afraid. Freedom to breathe.
If you want to fight for what you own, don't come crying for what you lose. Mainstream media lies.
Save the children! Save the children!
No more lockdowns. We should be able to enjoy life whatever times we are facing. Let's enjoy life even if the virus is real or not. No more lockdowns. No more lockdowns. No more lockdowns. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Close the window out the door. Make the odor go away.
Throw your cinder out the door. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Throw the cinder out the door.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Throw the cinder out the door.
1, 2, 3, 4. Throw your cinder out the door. Breathe it.
Enjoy life, people. Enjoy your freedoms. No lockdown. We should be able to enjoy life wherever the virus is. It's harmful or not harmful. We should be able to enjoy life to the fullest. Yeah.
We say no!
Yeah.
We say no!
No more lockdown.
What do we want?
Now.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now. Yes.
Do the research, people!
Yeah, do the research.
Don't trust the media! They're lying to
We are sovereign! We are free!
We are sovereign! We are free!
Hey.
Bill of Rights belongs to me! We are sovereign! We are free!
We are sovereign! We are free!
The Bill of Rights belongs to me!
Hey.
What do we want?
Freedom.
Do we want it? What do we want?
Freedom.
Do we want it?
Stand up for your rights.
I like the picture of Cindy. It's a good picture.
Don't come crying
Oh, that lovely spot, but so long it's even hard to look at it. Yeah. We are sovereign, we are free. We are sovereign human beings, and we do not consent to our tyranny.
We say no!
No more lockdowns. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yes, fight for freedom, people. Freedom must matter. That's why I'm here, people. That's why we're in Auckland. Auckland and New Zealand, the heartland. Wanderers. Yes. We are sovereign human beings and we do not consent to our tyranny. Yes, we are sovereign human beings. Humans are beautiful. Yes, they are. Humans are beautiful. Yes. And we do not have to be ashamed of it. We do not consent. We are sovereign beings and we do not consent. We are sovereign beings and we do not consent. We are sovereign. We are free.
Bill of Rights belongs to me.
Bill of Rights belongs to me.
We are sovereign. We are free.
We are sovereign. We are free. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get out the door.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get the center out the door.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Get the center out the door.
2, 3, 4. Take her out the door.
Yes, take the center out the door. She's poor New Zealanders. No, that she's undermining our economy and sure destroying our economy, our beautiful New Zealand economy. And we want New Zealand a good country that we can enjoy. And we want New Zealand to be a country that for anyone to enjoy. We want it to stay
We
like
are sovereign. We are free.
We are sovereign.
We are free.
YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yeah, I've watched you. I like it, man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, mate. Yes. Yes.
That's it, man.
Yes.
There you go, look at that.
Yeah. Out the door, yeah. Let's kick this in there, out the door. Make that order go away. Yes. Make the order go away.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. No. Get in. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. What?
What's your name?
Matthew.
You're the YouTube guy.
What?
You're the YouTube guy.
Yes. Thanks. Yes. Your smile's beautiful. Because every time I say mask, I miss your smile. I miss your smiles. Smiles are beautiful. Smiles are beautiful. Yes, they are. Smiles are beautiful. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Smiles are beautiful. So why cover it up? Why? Because they're scared of bringing something. Don't be afraid.
We are suffering, we are free.
We are suffering, we are free.
We are suffering, we are free.
I said we are suffering, we are free.
We are suffering, we are free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Vinny.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah.
Proud of you, Vinny.
Yeah. Woo. Yes.
Vinny alive.
Terrio Pines across the Rubicon here, mate. Yeah. Yes, across the Rubicon. Get this one. Yeah. Yes. Matthew. Cheers, oh, pleased to meet you, mate. Great day, mate. Great day. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the far across the Rubicon. Man, we meet some other YouTubers, and that's just awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah, love transfer. Yeah. I miss your smile. I miss your smile, eh? Every time I see master people, I say to them, the thing I miss is your lovely smile. The smiles are beautiful. They're not to see.
We got ended up at the right at the back. Some friends turned up. These two ladies got our stuff. They were in real car, and I thought they were coming down in the van. We are from one.
Hi everyone. Many of you have seen Many of you have seen my YouTube videos, and many of you on my Facebook. I'm really quite a private person, but to get behind that camera and come in front of you to tell you the truth of what's happening, I'm saying one thing today, and it's going to be very quick. There's one good thing about COVID-19. That means all nations, all cultures, no matter where you're from, are all united together. And that's going to be a positive. And that must be it. So let's take the positives out of this and be here every Saturday and march for our liberties, people.
Well said, well said.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody that came out today, that showed up, that took a stand for the future generations, our children, our children's children, and the future of New Zealand and the world. I'm proud of all of you, and I hope you're all proud of yourselves. We are the fearless ones. We are the brave ones. We are the soldiers of the future. We are many. They are few. Thank you.
All right, thank you ladies and gentlemen, and also thank you very much to all the people on the live stream. No consequences for saying no. Give us back our liberty! Rights! A lot of people have watered these terms down. They don't know what a right is. A right is any action that does not harm or destroy any other person or their property. Give us back our rights! And if not, we will take them from you. We shall reclaim what has been taken from us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vinny Eastwood from the Vinny Eastwood Show. It's Vinny with a Y because it's the most important question. And Eastwood, like, go ahead. Headline news. Another donation. Thank you very much, lovely lady. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I get a feeling that we've got technically no more scheduled speakers here. Does anybody else actually want to get up and come and have a word? We've got about maybe 2 minutes of battery life left.
Well, on this conclusion from the Auckland protester, we're on this Auckland New Zealand Liberty March, and yes, I was over there, man. I did meet some awesome people there, including a few YouTubers like across the Rivercon, Carol Sasaki, and also Vinny Eastwood, and also gave me a hug as well. Yeah, man, there were some awesome people there, and just on the way home, as I looked on social media, and there were some pro-lockdown people saying that, it saves lives. I know you had to give up freedom for the sake of safety if you want your life saved. No, we don't. Actually, it harms lives, people. Giving up your freedom for the sake of safety, it really actually does more harm than good. And to find out, putting people in isolation and stopping from it and hindering them from like meeting other people or interacting, trying to social distance, that does harm as well, because that's unnatural. It's because they're just trying to get us to accept the new normal. Do you know what? I call it the new abnormal, because it's abnormal. It's not natural. That's why I don't go along with the rules. I don't consent to it, and I don't comply to it, because you know what our Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern wants? They want our compliance. That's what she wants. The reason why I go to the protest in the same way with other people who attended there is because we don't comply with it. We will not comply, and we will not go along with it. I don't care how bad the virus is or something, though. We're not going to give up your freedom for the sake of safety. Just look at Sweden. They don't lock down, and they are doing fine. And I actually heard that, because when Sweden didn't lock down, they were actually predicting the COVID-19 death that will reach 30,000, but I find out it's only about like 6,000 or something. It's only that. It's just madness. And I swear they're doing fine, and they're doing more than fine, and the economy's still going, and people are happier. And I actually did a video about Sweden when they still wasn't locked down. I did a video about it. And it's very awesome. It's very awesome. And people just use their common sense as well, yeah, because when people are sick, they stay home, but when they're healthy, they just go out and enjoy life. That's how it should be. That's why I also like to go with the Sweden approach. Yeah, the Swedes, yeah. I call it a folk mute. Yeah, it means folk mute means the thing that's in Swedish means herd immunity. It says folk mute, yeah. That means herd immunity in Swedish, I think. So, Sam Holmes, do correct me on that, please. Yeah. Yeah, and not only Sweden that don't lock down, there's also other countries like Belarus, they don't lock down as well. And the guy actually said something quite funny over Belarus, although he sort of like look like a dictator. I thought dictators would love locking people down, but not that one. Not that one in Belarus, they didn't lock down. He said, go to the streets, oh, just go get some sunshine and drink some vodka. Quite a funny way to say that, though. Getting sunshine is a good way. Good advice, but drink vodka, no. Yeah. And there's another country called Uruguay. I don't think they didn't lock down as well, yeah, because more people are speaking about that as well. And You know, I met some good people there, and it was a good turnout. Well, thanks to Vinny Eastwood, Jane Lee Ross, and Billy Te Kahika. Yeah, they were awesome people. I met some awesome people there. I met some subscribers, and man, it was awesome. And I am going to be heading home and putting the video together. Yes, I know this is the day after the protest, and I know, but I just want to be getting home and just relax a bit and rest a bit, because it was a big day. I want to say that it was a big day. But now I can just sort of head off home and start putting the videos together. And well, people, that's all I gotta say for now. Oh, and just one thing, I did acting up my book. Let's show it to you. There it is right here, behind the green mask, You in a Junior 21 by Rosa Corey. Yeah, that's just a bookmark there that I just bought from the market. So I'm going to be happy to use that. Well, people, that's all I got to say for now. And I'll say, people, let's just stay awesome, let's stay calm, and when the election comes out on October 17th, we're going to vote Ardern out. Let's do this, let's vote Jacinda Ardern out. Yes. She's a traitor to New Zealand. She should be put away for treason. She should be in prison for life. Because for what she's did was so unacceptable to the New Zealand people. And she's not going to get away with this though. And we know what her plans is though, and it is not a good one. And people, if you're going to start reading that though, and I only just started reading it, well, feel free to get this and start reading, because man, there's going to be a lot of information, and that's all I got to say for now. It's Matthew Miller, signing off, over and out.